Yes, people. Hope you're all well. What is it with these baldy bastards? What is it with these people with no hair? Constantly pointing fingers, constantly blaming others, talking about there's trolls out to get them, this and that, but yet they're the biggest trolls. I see Dan and Shaun have kind of teamed up and come up with this master plan that I try to lead Dan down a garden path to talk shit about Shaun and destroy Shaun. Shaun, you destroyed yourself, son, which we'll get into. Dan was talking about you months and months before he ever done his last podcast with me, and months after. So, you're all weak, you're all wet wipes, it's all embarrassing. It's all laughable. Dan, son, you spoke about me in January. You get out your little plastic gun and just start spraying everyone as being gay, a nonce and a grass. You've done it every day for months and months. You've spoke about me every day the last 7 months. You are obsessed with me. It's funny, but it shows you how weak-minded you are and how deluded you are, son. You spoke about me way back in January for no reason. I responded that night. The thing about you, Dan, is when you speak about people, son, it kind of puts a lot of people back in their shell because they're too scared to speak out against you. But fuck off, man. You're a numpty. Like, you're doing fuck all with your life. I think you need to get off your high horse and understand you're not that important. Who are you? You shout about people want to destroy you, but destroy what? You stay in a sheltered accommodation. You've no money, no job, no ambition. Only thing you've got is your little paintings and some of your rap songs. What is it you've got to destroy? Nobody's asked. Seriously, nobody's asked. People watch you because it's funny. The unpredictability of just talking shit about people. People antagonise you and you fall for it hook, line and sinker. You waste all your energy on everyone else as if they're trying out to get you. I don't mention you. I responded to you way back in January and never mentioned you again. I done a video to say this will be the first and last time I speak about you, and it was. Until today, obviously, you're teaming up with Shaun and talking shit. But that's fine. This video's not about you today, even though you've took money off people for a bike ride from Glasgow to Liverpool that you never done. You've took money off people for a book that you said you were releasing in June. Never happened. You're full of hot air, son. People can see right through your mask. And what happens is, when you were on my podcasts, people bought into your bullshit and you were getting everything for free. You were getting all the attention. People were sending you money. They were sending you gifts. And you were just taking off people. You were like a charity, but not really giving anything back. You make out you do all this charity stuff and you're this good guy, but really, good guys don't talk shit about people. You've got a newborn. Why don't you go out and get a job and be a real fucking man and provide for your family instead of just talking shit? And there's so much shit out there about you, Darren. The things that you used to do to your mum, the things that you've done to your wife, who you're still married to. The problem with you pricks is, you think he's smarter than what he's but he's so fucking dumb. You've got to remember, people, that these guys were all saying sorry and apologising and being thankful to each other 4 or 5 months ago. This is all being planned by them. I don't mention these people. I don't call them out. They consistently talk about me on different platforms. Dan's been on about 10, 15 different podcasts this year, and every one I've been mentioned in. So, who's the fucking troll? The funny thing is, you think by me going in silence and not saying anything is a weakness, but any strong individual will tell you it's an absolute strength. This video's not about you today. You can say what you want about me, Dan, son. Do you know what? I forgive you and I send you love until you love yourself. But let's talk about Shaun. Let's talk about Mr. Attwood. When I started my podcast, I wanted Shaun on. I thought he'd be a great guest. Seen him on previous podcasts, True Geordie, Valuetainment, London Real, mega podcasts. Shaun had been on the news, he goes round schools, he's wrote books. For me, I respect that, for people to change his life, especially what he's came from. When I first met Shaun, I thought his energy was off. Doesn't really move right, he's very slimy, always looks at the floor, very creepy laugh. But I thought maybe the drugs had fucked with his head. I thought he'd been maybe abused in American prison. That's why he'd done the activism stuff. And I thought he was a gay man. He was very fruity, very strange, but it's not enough to... I would probably try to make these excuses for him, even though I knew something was off. But we actually became friends after that. I've only ever met Shaun once. I used to promote him on my podcast. He used to promote me on his. We used to exchange guests. It's business. There was no issues, never any issues. I just thought there was something off. Never knew what it was though. But always give people the benefit of the doubt until they eventually do fuck you over. So Shaun had a girl called Callie on his podcast, Callie Diamond, a vulnerable girl, brain damaged and with autism. They'd done a podcast together. Callie was saying she was being trafficked. People were trying to kill her. She was being abused. And they decided to raise money, £5,000. They set out a GoFundMe. I think they'd done about 5 or 6 podcasts. Callie was breaking down, saying she was trying to kill herself in Shaun's house. People actually bought into it and sent money. They raised the money within 2 weeks. I actually sent fucking £100 it as well, so that's how naive sometimes you can be. But after they raised all the money, a video was leaked. Now bear in mind Shaun is an activist to try and help protect children. A video was leaked of Callie dressed as a kid, going to suck Shaun off while calling him daddy. Dark, seedy shit. I don't care what people do in their spare time. I don't care what they do in the bedroom. I genuinely don't. That's down to their business. It's private. But when you're an activist and when you're raising money for people to then try and get them a flat to protect them for these child traffickers, but yet you've got her dressed as a kid. So I was supposed to come on your podcast in September to tell my story. It's a big platform. I thought it was the right platform as it would help me get more subscribers, more views. It's just a business strategy. No conspiracy why I've not told my story. Like, I cancelled the podcast on September. I says, look brother, I'm not going to make it today. I've got family issues, because all that shit was coming out. That's the reason why I cancelled my podcast with you and Wildman. No conspiracy, no agenda. It's because all that dark shit was coming out. You done a prank video with the girl Callie. You were both pretending to snort gear. You were both pretending to drink. You were pretending to be a pimp, counting money, shouting at her. You says it was just all a big setup to expose another troll, but I thought it was a bit extreme. It didn't really make sense, so I thought, okay, surely he's not that daft. But clearly, yeah, because weeks later, the same girl who you raised £5,000 for was in your house naked, on your couch, in your bedroom, on your veranda. The same girl who's working as an escort, making £1,200 a night. The same girl who was staying with you. The same girl you were in a relationship with. So the £5,000 was raised for your own benefit, not for a vulnerable girl who was being trafficked because she was making her own money as a brass. You knew this, it all came out, and that's when I decided I need to step back from this pricklet, because that's dirty, that's nasty. Taking money from the good people that you've never really gave a good explanation for. I think Sonia Poulton done an interview with you and you try to explain it, but it was all over the place. It wasn't making any sense. You are a CD man. I don't fucking like you. I'll state this now. There's no conspiracy against you. You destroyed yourself, you little weasel. In December, I had Dan on my podcast for the last time, and Dan actually mentioned Shaun first, and I'd spoke about all the dark shit, all the seedy shit that was going on. There was no conspiracy about it. That video was actually took down 2 weeks later, even though Shaun was sending lawyers letters to saying he was trying to get me done for defamation. But I've been dealing with lawyers my whole life. It was all palmed off. They were all bullshit letters. It didn't make any sense. But he continued to send them. So he's just a dark man. Because Shaun's good friends with a man called Wilfred Wong. Shaun's had him on the podcast at least 4 or 5 times. But last year, Wilfred was charged with child abduction. Shaun done a podcast after he was charged with it to say that it was a rescue mission. So Shaun clearly knew about it. People have actually pled guilty to this case. It's all over the papers. You can just Google Wilfred Wong and figure it out for yourself. Like, there's a lot of darkness around this, and it's weird stuff. Like, it's a weird circle, but the truth always prevails. The truth always comes out in the end. The Wilfred Wong stuff, I'm not too sure about all the ins and outs, but there's something not right about it. Especially when you're taking knives to abduct kids. Like, that's not right. I don't know the ins and outs, but it will come out on the court case, but I know people have pled guilty to it. So it's all weird, it's all dark stuff. Shaun used to go into schools, dress kids up as prisoners and give them their books. Now Shaun, your books are quite dark, there's quite a lot of dirt in them. Kids at 14 and 15 shouldn't be reading those books. But thankfully the schools have cancelled you doing those talks because all those videos came out. There's no conspiracy, these are just all facts. Check out a kid Chancer on YouTube. He talks about all these videos, the Daddygate scandal he calls them. There's so many videos out there about all this. This wasn't me who done this. This was just me responding in December about it all because I didn't want associated with Shaun because I knew all this darkness was coming out, all this bullshit was coming out. I actually sent Shaun a text message months ago to leave my fucking name out it because these people are always playing the victim. What happens is they destroy themselves and they look to blame other people. Now, Shaun's channel was shut down 2 weeks ago, twice by YouTube because he's under investigation. Shaun was actually charged because he was giving out kids' names. Kids' names, a man who's supposed to be an activist for kids to protect them, he was giving kids' names out on a podcast, so he was charged. I'll actually play the video with Shaun admitting that right now.
Some of you know I was called into the police station in London, and this is because of what one of my activist podcast guests said on my YouTube channel when I was interviewing her that pertained to a sexual abuse case and certain names getting mentioned. Anyway, fortunately, the policeman who interviewed me, he's part of child protection. He's normally interviewing paedophiles and predators, so he was quite shocked that someone whose mission it is to protect kids and end the war on drugs was sat on the other side of the interrogation table. So he was recommending a caution, but it was out of his hands, he said. It was in the hands of CPS, Crown Prosecution Service, who for some reason is pursuing it aggressively.
There you go. Charged. That's why his channel was shut down. That's why Shaun had to delete over 1,000 videos on his channel because of the stuff that was saying, that try to hide all the shit that he's been talking about. Shaun talks about the dark web as if he's trying to expose it, but leaves the links to the dark web. You ain't exposing it, you're promoting it in my eyes. Now the people surrounded by Shaun now all have question marks over them with the shit that they've been doing with vulnerable girls and the messages and videos that they've done over the years. You can see the circle that's evolving here, but I could have so many people on this platform destroying these people. I could do a video right now naming and shaming every one of them and destroying them, but I'm not going to because I let karma take its toll. The truth always comes out that in the end, good always beats evil, always will. It might not at the start, but it will. That's why I'm doing this video today. There's no conspiracy, it's all bullshit. What happens with these people? They'll fight against each other, then they'll say sorry, they'll fight, then they'll say sorry. All this internet beef, as you say, people on YouTube and Instagram fighting so-called gangsters, it's embarrassing. You're all weak individuals, you're all weak members, you all talk about people grassing on each other, but the first thing you do when it gets put on you is whip out a phone and record it. That's not what people do. I've texted these people to leave me the fuck alone, but they want to take it online and talk about it. Why try and provoke me? Someone who doesn't mention yous, someone who doesn't even fucking speak about yous, why provoke someone who has strength in numbers? Because when I make these videos, when I shoot, I don't fucking miss. I'll make sure I hit every target with accuracy, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I won't miss. I actually don't mind that people use my name for clickbait and clout, try to get views. It's a business, some of these channels are struggling, so if they can get an extra few thousand views by a certain name, then by all means do it. I don't mind. There's so many channels that I can get struck down, so many videos that I can get took off with my name getting used because it's slanderous, it's defamation, but I don't. But it's the dark, seedy, planning, conniving, dirty shit that I don't like with these two and the way people are moving. Like, it's embarrassing, the way they're talking. They're talking about my past as if it's some mad secret. It's public knowledge that I have lost many family members and friends to murder. I've been questioned over murders. I've been in prison. I've battled with addictions. But over the last few years, I have worked religiously to try and make myself become a better person, a better individual to lead by example. Now, these people constantly pointing fingers because their own hands are dirty. Now, Shaun, if you want to talk about people's pasts, why don't we talk about yours? Why don't we talk about your charge sheet in America when you were convicted of being involved with not just one but 2 minors? That's right, 2 minors. It's all there for people to see. Why don't you talk about that? Why don't you bring that to light? Because you're always talking about you're an activist for kids, protecting kids. Were you protecting those kids? Why not talk about that? You're always saying you're exposing this and that, but what you really do is expose yourself. So, there you go. These are facts. You can look it up yourselves. People can talk shit about me, it does not faze me. Over the last 3 years, you've never seen me break, you've never seen me falter. Why? Because up here, I'm 10 steps ahead of these pricks. If this was a game of chess, I'd be checkmate on every single one of them. Shaun, you also buy your subscribers to make yourself look as big as what you are, but really your views don't match up. That's why your masks have slipped, you've destroyed yourself, and what's the best thing to do is you've destroyed yourselves. Try to target the man who's flying, try to target the man who's doing well for himself, to hang on to something. This will be the first and last I speak about it until their house of cards does come tumbling down, and then I will also talk about it then. Because over the next 12 months, you're going to see every one of them getting exposed. You're about to see something dirty really happening, but just look at the people who're surrounded by Shaun. Look, they all know what Shaun's involved in, what he's done, but yet they continually to be around his circle. So what does that tell you about them? It's embarrassing, but these people are fucked up in the head. They're weird people. They're all psychotic. But the truth always comes out in the end. That's why I'm doing this video. This isn't just for me. This is about the other people who they try and break. This is about the other people who speak shit about. These people who speak about everyone else every day. Shaun exposes people every day, he says, but yet when the light gets shined onto him, they're trolls. Same as Darren, the same shit, blames everybody else, but yet he speaks about people every day. These people are the biggest trolls. Just fucking leave me alone, man, because your clock is ticking, motherfuckers. It's all going to come crashing down on yous. And the people who's kind of crotting up, kind of getting involved and stirring the pot, yous fuckers as well. Yous be careful, because the shit that's out there about yous are next on the cards. Like, truth will always come out. But do you know what? I'm sending yous love, because yous guys need it the most. Yous genuinely do. Yous are weak members, individuals, scared little insecure boys who talk shit and think yous are bigger than what yous are. Yous ain't on my level. Yous will never be on my level. And like they say, when yous do your little videos, think it's great with people commenting as if they've got your back. Yous will see how much yous are hated by the comments below, by the likes, how much fucking yous are hated because of the shit that you've done. There's places yous can't go to. I can drive everywhere in the UK and walk anywhere myself. When I get into Liverpool, there's fucking street parades and parties that James English is in town. But love the Scousers. There's places that yous don't go yourselves. There's places that yous hide. All yous do is sit in a room and talk shit. Look at the network of people I'm building beside me. Strong, independent, successful. Doors are opening left, right and centre. You don't get the calibre of guests that I get with being a fucking idiot. That's why you can't get to my level. That's why it's ripping out your pores how envious and jealous you are at actually what I'm achieving in life. I will always say this in my podcast, but silence is golden. And if you want to hurt your enemies, prepare yourself for an amazing life. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Had to do this video today just to defend your corner and come out swinging. A couple of knockout punches to these pricks. And then I move on. You'll not hear me speak about them again until the house of cards comes down. And then I'm going to talk about it and say, fucking told you so. But for now, I love yous all. Again, thanks for everybody for the support and love that I get. And to all yous little fucking haters who are talking shit, I send yous love also. But yous have a good day. Take care.